of all for the NPFL back home, the Nigerian Premier Football League. So I'll share that with you. Indian Wales, I'll also take a look at how results went down yesterday for the ATP end, that's the men's end, and the WTA end, where the women are also involved. So let's start with how things went down yesterday. Starting from 6:45, where we saw 4 games and the other 4 games came 9. And so it was 𝐒𝐍𝐒𝐂𝐋𝐀 who were able to get the result against Spurs. And Spurs weren't good yesterday, and they can only thank their God or their stars or whatever they can go thank that ended in just a goal. So maybe they'll go back to London and assess things and see what they do in the second leg. But yesterday they lost to 𝐒𝐍𝐒𝐂𝐋𝐀 of Netherlands by 0-0. Also yesterday, Olympique Lyon with Paulo Fonseca being told that the next few months we don't want to see you anywhere close to the touchline when it comes to the friendly gun, but he's got access for him to coach his side in the UEFA Cup, and that he did last night. It's him going away from home and winning by 3-1. Also last night, Rangers, they went to Turkey, they went to Istanbul, they saw the conquer. Maybe for Jose, telling them that it is not over yet. Don't start pumping the champagne thinking you've beaten my side, because we also come to Glasgow and see how we can turn it around. But yesterday was Cyril Dessers, who was part of the guys who scored yesterday for Rangers, who have got a new man in charge for the time being, Ferguson. He will take charge for the time being. Maybe if he gets to do well, he gets the job on a permanent base, but for now, he's just holding fort. And yesterday, he went to Turkey. He got 3-1 win. He'll be hoping that when they go back to Ibrox, they get the job done after 90 minutes. Real Sociedad also 1-1 against Manchester United. They were also involved yesterday, but they didn't get a win because United led in that game, and they got leveled in that one from the penalty spot. Joshua Zirkzee got the goal for United, and Oyarzabal equalized for Real Sociedad on the spot to make it 1-1. So the return leg will be next week Thursday at Old Trafford. Roma, they came back from a goal down to beat Athletic Club Bilbao by 2-1. The Spanish club scored first, Iñaki Williams, but Roma equalized and, of course, went ahead to score the winning goal. So 2-1, and something just good is happening from the side, from the Eternal City, they call it in Rome, the capital of Italy. And I'm talking about no other than Claudio Ranieri, who won the league with Leicester. Will he help Roma win the UEFA Cup? We'll wait to see, but they've been having some very good results in the last few weeks in the league and away from the league. Ajax, they lost at home in Amsterdam to Frankfurt, who came to Holland, and they got a 2-1 win. The return leg comes up next week. Bodo Glimt of Norway, they were better than Olympiacos, the side that won the Conference League last season, involving the UEFA Cup. Last night, they lost in Norway by 3-1, where Lazio, despite playing with 9 men, were able to win against Victoria Plzeň of Czech Republic by 2-1. So in the Conference League earlier, Chelsea 2-1 against Copenhagen, and Molde defeated Legia Warsaw of Poland by 3-2. Panathinaikos won in Greece, beating Fiorentina by 3-2. That game produced 5 goals in the early minutes. It was 4 goals, and then the Greek side ended up winning that one by 3-2. So we'll go to Florence in the next 1 week and see what will happen. Real Betis in Seville 2-2 against Victoria Guimarães of Portugal. You begin to see how Anthony has been doing since he joined Manuel Pellegrini's side on loan in the winter, and now he got an assist last night, but his team couldn't get a win against the Portuguese side, so it ended 2-2. And of course, Rapid Vienna 1-1 in that game away from home against Banja Luka, while Bialystok won against Cercle Brugge of Belgium by 3-0. Nick Siger defeated Lugano of Switzerland by 0-0, while Paphos won against Juventus by 0-0. So these clubs are not clubs that you are used to here when it comes to European football, but this is what UEFA has been able to do in terms of creating the third tier of European club competition. All right, so let's stick with that and, of course, jump to some other headlines. But before we jump to some other headlines, I mentioned earlier that Jose has said to Glasgow Rangers that this is not done yet, because we'll come to Scotland and see if we can change the result. Last time also was just good for Cyril Dessers. Part of the names that were released in the last few weeks by Eric Shaw, the head coach of the Super Eagles, 39. So the Glasgow man is part of the players. We'll wait to see if he will make the cut for those World Cup qualifier. But in terms of him getting back to starting game for Rangers, he wasn't starting games under the old manager, but since Ferguson came on board, he has been involved with the Glasgow-based side and has been scoring a couple of goals for them. So last night he was one of the guys who scored for them. So spoke about United and see what they will do in the return leg of their game against Real Sociedad. So this weekend, club football will be back home and away from home. It's all about the title. For some, it's about just trying to survive relegation. And so this weekend, actions will be back again in La Liga. Is a 3-horse race in Italy, looking like three, Simile was saying the other time that you have to just find a way to equate Atalanta into the whole equation. But we know that Inter and Napoli are the ones jostling for it, and Napoli just maybe it's just kind of probably they will sneak behind and win this one. They've never won it. I can't remember Atalanta winning the league since I grew up, so I don't know. But this one will be something that we'll be looking forward to under Gasperini. Don't forget, he won the UEFA Cup last season. So we'll wait to see. That's in Italy. In Germany, is Bayern pulling away? They want to get this done this weekend again because they know they've got the return leg coming up against Bayer Leverkusen in a couple of days' time. And Bayern, of course, Leverkusen now are the champions of the German Bundesliga. In the English Premier League, it's about Leicester. It's about Liverpool, not Leicester now. So it's about Liverpool knowing that they get a win on Saturday, 4 p.m. against Southampton. They can go to bed. They can go sleep. But they can't sleep with their two eyes because they've got Paris Saint-Germain coming up in a couple of days. But they will be saying to themselves, in terms of where the Premier League stands, they get a win. They don't care what Arsenal do. Away from home on Sunday against Manchester United, the ask is to keep winning that game. At the point in time, we'll say this league is done. But for someone like me, I think it's done. So for Arsenal Football Club, we'll wait what they will do on Sunday against Manchester United. So I keep talking about the league, and back home in the MPFL, Shooting Stars have got an assignment away from home. Alliance, the boys are already in Casina for the game against Casina United this weekend. And Remo Stars are just like Liverpool. All they just need to do is just keep winning their games at home. And then they'll probably be the champion at the end of this. So it's all about the club games, football back again this weekend. And it's about teams who will be looking for win. Anyhow they want to get the win away or at home. We'll wait to see what will happen in the coming days. Now, let's stick with more football before we jump to some Indian Wales stories, talking about some tennis before we go on the show this morning. Let's talk about Neymar, because for Neymar, he is back. Back to the Brazilian national team. And of course, he will be hoping that he can get Brazil back to winning ways. Brazil have struggled in this World Cup qualifier. While they watch Argentina fly and win games, don't forget Argentina are the defending champion of the World Cup. And the World Cup will be going down in next year. Yes, next year, US, Mexico, Canada will be hosting. Argentina is pulling away from the other side in the South American region of the World Cup. Neymar has been recalled to the Brazilian squad after 17-month absence for the upcoming World Cup qualifiers against Colombia and Argentina. Key games, man, because if you take a look where Argentina are and where Colombia are, that's where Brazil want to occupy. But this one is going to be them playing against Colombia and Argentina, and they're looking for a win. So that's why they needed their best players to be involved in this one. And Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, Joelton, Bruno Guimaraes, Matheus Cunha have all been invited for this crucial game against Colombia and, of course, against Argentina. Of course, you had me say this yesterday on the show. Liverpool goalkeeper, Liverpool manager saying this guy should be the best goalkeeper in the world. He's also included in that team that will play against Colombia and Argentina. Ederson of Manchester City also is included. Arsenal, Nottingham Forest centre-backs Gabriel and Murillo are also part of the team that will play this game. So for Brazil, it's a must-win for them. And we'll wait to see if they will get the win later this month, where World Cup qualifiers will be going down. Now, talking about World Cup, let's talk about the Super Falcons. For the Super Falcons, is just for them, see how they finish well and do well. But in the last few hours, FIFA released the women's FIFA ranking. Yes, we know the men. We talk about the men. The women also do get the rankings. And Nigerian Super Falcons have been rated as the best on the continent and 36th in the world, according to FIFA in the last few hours. The Super Falcons also remain the top African team, and of course, underscoring their dominance on the continent. Yes, we did not win the last WAFCON, but hey, despite all of that, we are still number one on the continent. So, South Africa, Morocco, Zambia, Ghana are the other countries in the top 5. The top 10 are United States of America. We know how this will surely be. Spain, world champion, Germany, England, Japan, Sweden, who else again is here, Canada, Brazil, Korea, Democratic Republic of Korea now. Yes, not the other Korea. This is South Korea, I guess, not North Korea. This is South Korea. And of course, Netherlands. All right, so let's quickly jump to some Indian Wells before we go on the show this morning and see how games were held yesterday in Indian Wells in the US. And starting from the men's end, where Gail Murphy's, Hugo Gustin, Nono Borges, David Goffin, Adam Walton all won their games. And of course, there will be games later today from the men's end. In the women's end, Swiss Belinda Bečić, Kimberlyn Beryl, and Anastasia Potapova, they won their game. And of course, there will be more games later today. In world football, in terms of football now, there will be football games later today. Like I said, the other time, club football is back. Germany have got one game. Italy have got one game. France have got one game. When we come later for 3:30, we'll talk about this and reflect of some of the talking points in the world of sport. And of course, the biggest headlines we'll share with you when we come for 3:30. Okay, I'm done for this morning. We'll see you again by 3:30, but go nowhere because we've got more interesting lined up for you. We've got Baba Vendor coming up between 8, once I'm out of here, to 9:30, and 9:30. We'll have the Islamic program coming up, and then we'll have some other programs come up between 11 and 12 and 1 and 2. We'll go nowhere. We are here just to ensure you have a fantastic day, to entertain, to inform, and to educate you. I am Peter Omo.